Shorts. Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the May 9, 2026 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live or Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are brother Afro-agnostic, star of those Afro-agnostic videos on social media, co-star of Objective Deconstruction. We got Mr. Floyd X, the boss man, co-star of Street Focus on Sundays at 6 p.m. or sometimes they do it at other times. You know what I'm saying? We got infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back. And we are going to have a Spin That Back today. So Spin That Back on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. after this show. And who are we covering today, infamous El Pooh?
Yes, sir. Today we're going to be talking about Kid and Play.
That's what's up.
Kid and Play. Hell yeah.
That's what's up. So we don't have Brother Walk today, star of Sex Talk with Walk, or Thursday at 9 p.m. and co-star of Street Focus on Sundays. What's happening there with you, Mr. Big Cuz. And then we don't have Mr. Floyd X taking care. Sorry, not Mr. Floyd, Mr. Student X taking care of some business.
I am somebody.
Student X, star of Mutant Politics, so he's taking care of some business. He'll be back. No First Lady J, hoping she pops up in. No AB. Hoping she pops in, but that's what's up. We're gonna work with what we got. What's going on with you, sir? Afro-agnostics, and this is the Happy Mother's Day edition. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But what's going on with you, Afro-agnostics?
Oh man, I'm just really like, it was so evident for many of us, man. But this attack on the VRA is like real big, the most monstrous political move ever in Black historical political existence. I feel, we kind of don't see the bigger, some of us not promoting it, but it's really, really going down.
I mean, and they're just brushing it off like it doesn't really matter. Like you don't have a say anyways, but if you didn't have a say, they wouldn't be working so hard to make sure you didn't have a say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty messed up. What's going on with you, sir, Mr. Boss Man, Mr. Floyd X?
Man, I'm chilling. I want to give a shout out to our MAGA viewers on Rumble. We are going live for the first time on Rumble. So if you're watching us on Rumble, this is our first Rumble show, and we are ready to rumble.
That's what's up. Infamous El Pooh, what it do?
Yes, sir. I'm just blessed and happy to be here once again, ready to get this going and see what we can do about these MAGA supporters on Rumble and see if we can ruffle up some feathers.
Hey man, tell us about your new toy, man. You got something? I'm gonna get one too, but you beat us to it, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
It ain't nothing really big, man. It's just a controller. It's called an MPD 218 by Akai. I just use it with my MPC, software and everything. It just makes it a little easier to get things done. That's all.
Yeah, very mobile, so you can just go take it and do whatever you need to do, whatever. So that's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. Let's get to the get. Okay, first thing up, rest in peace, Ted Turner. Ted Turner, the father of CNN, what I'm saying? He was the guy that had the vision, hey, let's have a 24-hour news network. And, as I understand, Cartoon Network, I mean, honestly, Cartoon Network, I poured in a whole bunch of hours on Cartoon Network, but at the end of the day, it's offsetting voice for Fox News, and I do have respect for CNN. I know a lot of people talk about mainstream media, but they're journalists that actually care about their reputation and care about their name and their brand. So there is some protocols to how serious they are about their about their business. So there's some integrity there. Again, you don't have to take what they say as gospel, but the bottom line is you hear it out, you hear something else out, and then you figure it out. So, that's what's up.
Basically, they're not trying to be sued. That's what you're saying, huh?
I'm saying that they have due diligence. They make sure they have sources. They don't just like, you had that one guy, I forget what his name is, but he was a big news guy. He just wanted to jump with the story. He didn't go through the protocols, and then it turned out to be false, and he was just gone. He was just, he was a big heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? And just like that, his whole reputation.
I think he was alluded to Fox being sued for $800 million for lying for Trump and lying on Dominion voting machines.
Yes. Well, they learned something about integrity after a fashion. It didn't stick.
Yeah.
But it was enough to see Tucker Carlson somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it'd be good to mention too for all the MAGAs that he was not Jewish. Okay.
Oh,
He was a white Anglo-Saxon.
no. Wait.
Media mogul.
So the Jews weren't in control of CNN?
Nah, man.
Uh-oh.
You sure the Jews ain't telling you that?
Yeah, he was.
You sure the Jews ain't telling you that?
Yeah, the bad news, he was a Republican, so fuck him. Look. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it like this. Now we're speaking facetiously, but we don't have issues with Jews. We may have issues with Zionism. We may have issue with the state of Israel. But we do distinguish individuals from groups, and I would say that I'm not going to just condemn all Republicans. I know that there's some decent Republicans out there, but boy, there's a lot of them that are just super violating right now. So
wait, you don't support the Greater Israel Project?
Hey, I'm the one person on the show that identifies as a Zionist, just not by their definition of it. So I'm not a fan who's running Israel. I'm definitely not a person that's opposed to the concept of it, but definitely, again, I feel kind of like Israel, like I feel about the United States of America. The people that run the United States of America are a mess. So it really doesn't matter anything else about, whatever, the people that are in control of it are a mess. So, that needs to be addressed.
The thing though, it's a settler state. The settler state implies necessitates genocide of the native population. So you can't be for that type of state.
Wait a minute, we supposed to be talking about Ted Turner.
Thanks for bringing us back, El Poo. Thanks for bringing us. We got caught up in the rumble. We got caught up into the rumble, gravitational pull. But that's right. So rest in peace, Ted Turner. I don't know if he was the current husband of Jane Fonda, but I know he was a husband of Jane Fonda. You know what I'm saying? So, salute to that person who figured out how to colorize old black and white stuff and make them look terrible. But, again, his legacy is much greater than that. So salute to a super rich person that was a philanthropist that actually did, important, impactful things, So rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. So that having been said, you know what? I was gonna make a transition about rest in peace. But the Lakers ain't rest in peace yet. We'll come back. Let's talk about some. Oh, you go ahead. Okay, let's talk about the Lakers.
Let's talk about the Lakers. We got the somebody in our comments talking the trash about the Lakers. I believe this is because sidebar. Lakers are done. Somebody turn off the oven. Hey, we ain't done yet. We ain't done. We got another game with tonight we play. We ain't done.
Check this out. If you understand basketball, a playoff series doesn't start till you win a game on the other team's floor. All they did is hold serve. You know what I'm saying? They're the better team. They won the first two games. They had a lot of help from the refs, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we won't find what's what about this series until game 3. So, stay tuned.
Still Lakers on mine. Still the Lake Show.
That's what's up. We're not like Paxton saying whatever he can say to destroy and crap on the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the Lakers do need to sack up. Stop turning the damn ball over so much. You know what I'm saying? So that's
I want to say, hold up. I was going to say 5 in a row, 2-0 in the series. I'm casually listening. I'm paying attention now. So. Nobody said nothing about the Pistons.
Talking about
the Pistons.
Pistons 5-0?
Hey, they doing their work. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They like the number 1 seed in the East, so they should be there. They should be pushing through. The second round shouldn't be a threat for them. You know what I'm saying? So, and they are like the new teams that have that sort of like great salute nephew. So so the bottom line is for the new teams that have the athleticism, the stars of tomorrow. When you talk about San Antonio, when you talk about OKC, and when you talk about Detroit, I mean, these are the YNs of basketball. It's their time. So, we'll see how it plays out. But, some of these unks, like New York, they still got something. They still got something to take. So we'll see how it plays out. So, so we'll see. That's why we watch the game. That's why they play the game. It's just not an issue about the better team winning. It's about the team that plays better. So, we'll see.
Yep.
So that having been said, now let's give some love to mothers. Mother's Day. I just got to tell you, I always say that to my mom. My mom is the greatest celebrity superstar on the planet for me. You know what I'm saying? There's no person that that gets me emotionally more worked up than the person that's been there from day one. You know what I'm saying? You have love for your spouse. You have love for your children, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is your relationship with your mother. Again, that goes back 9 months further than your father. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a thing about mothers. So mothers are special. They need to be respected. They need to be cherished, and they need to be protected. Really, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, salute to all the mothers out there. You deserve it. Thank you for your service, because childbirth, man, I'm telling you, if it was up to men to have children, we'd be doing some artificial insemination. Yeah, humanity be in trouble. What you got to say about Mother's Day, Afro agnostic?
Yeah, man. I wish we would share some of those same sentiments, with that we share with mothers, with just all women, even the hoes. Everybody deserves support.
Amen. Amen. Hoes gotta eat too.
Exactly. But I want to say really quick, man. Later on, I can share a list that I made for my moms one day on Mother's Day, and it was pretty dope. I got all the rap songs from the '90s, early 2000s with the mama theme and the R&B. It was dope.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. Mr. Floyd X, my condolences, because I know your situation is special. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but that having been said, what you got to say to all the mothers out there?
Hey, all of my mamas are gone, have transitioned on, but salute to my beautiful wife. She's going to be celebrated tomorrow, so happy Mother's Day to her and all the beautiful mamas out there, including the hoes. Sorry. I had to. Apple got to me. I had to.
Hoes is mamas too. El Pooh, what you got to say about Mother's Day?
Well, my mom's been gone for over 20 years, damn near 30 now. So, rest in peace. But I want to give a shout out to my baby mamas. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. And for all you other hoes out there in different area codes, happy Mother's Day to you too.
Hey, we got a question. The question is, what if your mother ain't shit?
And she still get a shout out.
Okay.
She still brought you here. The bottom line is your mother can only take you so far. If she, people deserve to be corrected, but then, your elders deserve to be respected. So again, you can point out something that's wrong about somebody and still do it in a respectful way. There's a different way that you talk to your boss, your employer, than you talk to your coworker. So I just feel like when you're dealing with your parents, don't be blind-eyed. I mean, if they, if they need to be called out about something, but do it in a respectful way. Always, have that respect. And again, it's not just this mother, it's all the mothers out there. I go out there, I see strangers, they look like a mama, I say happy Mama's Day. Because, again, thank you for your service. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Seriously, real talk, in the most simple way.
I would just want to add really quick, I prefer Mama's Day, but that's my preference.
Yeah, I do say that. And I will say this, maybe I'm not supposed to be saying this, you know what I'm saying? But salute to my daughter who might be that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. That's all the tests are saying something. So she's saying that look, we gotta get the doctor's official word, but when you take about 9 tests, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So it looks like I'm gonna be a grandpa. So salute to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Oh yeah, that's great news. So
Yeah.
So let's so now let's talk about, normally the way that she would get here would not be on this airplane, Airlines, but you know, let's talk about Spirit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, Spirit has been getting a lot of people flued out, and it's a shame. You know, we talk about, look, the hoes need representation. The Focuz of, we're gonna talk about them too. And the bottom line is, you know, these planes are crucial. You know what I'm saying, to people getting to hookups and this, that, and the other, and honestly, just the affordability of it. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I had to fly somewhere, I'd always look at those Spirit prices and go, man, that's a crazy price. That's some good stuff. But that, I think that's wrong. I always say that. Look, you can't hope that it's a boy or a girl, anything, because then you can't be disappointed with what it is. You got to embrace whatever it is, and just, you know, and you know what? I believe in finding out right away. Some people be like, I want to be surprised when it comes out. You know what? You're going to be surprised when the doctor tells you what it is. Just know, don't be sending out all that energy of wanting something that don't happen, and then you got to basically consolation prizes. So that's dangerous stuff. But salute to you, brother. I appreciate your input. But back to Spirit, you know, yeah, that's a great idea, because Uncle Luke was talking about that. Uncle Luke was saying, look, man, this is a viable airline, and we understand that, you know, we'd have to rebrand them, and not so plain rebrand, but the bottom line is, you know, you get a lot of black owners to basically take over these flights, take over these planes, take over this infrastructure, and fix it up. You know what I'm saying? Switch it up, and then all of a sudden now you have a powerful voice in the airline industry. So I mean, if this is something that's feasible, hey, that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about how we got to get some type of representation out there. That's how you do it. Become an economic force. What you got to say about Spirit? I'm gonna start with you, infamous El Poo. What you got to say about Spirit Airlines? First of all, have you ever been on Spirit? And then what you got to say about it?
Yeah, I got something to say about it, man. I'm gonna miss Spirit, because that was the only airline I could go ahead and get on the MTA bus, go all the way to LAX, and get on Spirit with a transfer. So
Damn transfer. Wow.
I miss that airline.
Yeah, man. You made me be unprofessional. Oh, that's hilarious.
Not Uncle Luke, someone else.
Yeah, but he was. Luke was talking about it as well. I'm saying that I've seen a video where he was talking about it. So yeah, some people are talking about it, and it is a good idea. Honestly, any way that you can basically get black representation on a high level in a, you know, very visible economic platform, it's, you know, it's just gonna expand our power, because at the end of the day, money is power.
I think why talk about it now? Because the airline is out of business. If you're serious about buying an airline, set it up. If you're serious about owning an airline, start building one. Just start with a plane or something, and don't talk about it just to get in the conversation when Spirit goes down or JetBlue or somebody else goes out. If you got the money to start a business, start it. Start now. Just pick up. Don't talk about it. Do it.
Self a horn. It's easier to acquire something and rebrand it, but I hear what you're talking about.
You're talking about no team has come back past 3-0 in the series. The chances of a black person starting the air, I mean, no. No. But I just want to say really quick that I think this is a good example how patriotism can negatively impact the black community. I think this is tied to the Strait of Hormuz. Spirit has always been smaller scale in terms of, you know, the airline economy. And I think they've been accumulating and struggling along the way. And this kind of really impact them. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that explains why. And yes, it's going to, I think that's going to be felt a little bit in the black community. Black people might be a little bit more tense, because not only do we fly the hoes out, I just want to say, when I say hoes, I mean whores, sex workers, promiscuous women. I love them. It's not a disparaging term, but I just want to say,
hoes is short for honeys. Remember black.
Just really quick though, in terms of family recreation, that stuff, you know, folks, black people, that's, you know, we're highly disproportionately represented on Spirit because it's cheaper. So that's going to be less relaxing time, less vacation for black families, recreational time. So niggas might be a little more tense in the hood.
So yeah, so that's what's up. So hopefully they do buy
it. Call you brother Afro no more. You don't have an Afro, brother.
No,
Hey, you gotta put the thing back on your head, man. You know what I'm saying? So that having been said, all right, let's talk about this cruise ship virus situation. So I believe it's called a Hantavirus. I mean, this is a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if you saw that Netflix. I don't know. I shouldn't say Netflix. It was a documentary about the poop ship. I mean, the bottom line is that, yeah. So I mean, cruise has been taking a hit, man. Me and my wife went on a cruise, and I gotta tell you, it was one of the greatest things ever. I was very trepidatious about being in a box on the ocean. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, after I figured out that all the food
fell in love with that box after a couple of days. Huh?
Well, at first day, I'm being judicious about buying food and stuff like that. Then I realized that all the food was already paid for. So I ate. Every other day after that. I'm just telling you, I ate the best that I ever ate. Not the best from a quality standpoint, but from a quantity standpoint of my entire life. And I mean, we just had fun. Every night was a party. Every night it was great. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if
I've been on plenty of cruises. I had fun on each one of them. I never had no issues of no diseases being spread. I've been on a gang of cruises. I love going on cruises 4 or 5 days. I have a good time, So I hope everybody on that boat gets well, and you got to be cautious out there, I guess. But I hope they all. I mean, rest in peace to the 3 that passed away, but you know.
Yeah. And this is not supposed to be like a super big threat. They're saying that this is like from this ain't like going to be another COVID type situation. But the bottom line, it is a dangerous situation. Excuse me, and they're trying to push through it.
It's COVID can be from human to human. This one is from host through feces or other matter to humans, not directly. So.
Gotcha.
This is what I'm really quick, since we want to. Where we at, Floyd? What platform?
Rumble.
Okay, I'm ready to rumble with some MAGA. Last year, those slashing of government programs, the CDC, and the Vessel Sanitation Program (VSP), primarily responsible for sanitizing ships. So this this organization helps to reduce. Airborne and feces and waste from mice that spread this particular hantavirus. So another shot at MAGA. This is what we got for Doge.
Exactly. Them cats fired the nuclear code people, realizing like, wait a second, we need them, bring them back. You know what I'm saying? That was the clown stuff that was going on over there. What you got to say about this, El Poo?
Well, this is what happens when you don't really have a plan. You just have a concept of a plan. So.
Mr. Freestyle. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. So then what we have up next, Mr.
Floyd. But can you imagine being out in the middle? Can you hear?
Go ahead.
Can you imagine being out?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can you imagine being off the west coast of Africa? You know what I'm saying, in Cape Verde somewhere, and because the incubation period is 5 to 8 weeks, and you just got to sit out there for 5 to 8 weeks, your whole life, everything going on, job, crazy.
Man. They got to be up to 5 to 8 weeks.
I mean, that's the incubation period, so it's going to be somewhere in that range where they're.
I mean, they've been there already. Like, would they say 150 days, or what did that graphic say?
I know it's 150 people on the ship.
150 people. I'm not saying. But yeah, no, I mean, that's just, that's like I said, that's just tough. I mean, that poop ship, that's like way worse. I mean, at least these guys are just being sort of like isolated and checked on. I mean, with that poop ship, I mean, you go see that documentary. Those people, they should be, I mean, they got to have some type of post-traumatic, drama over that stuff. So that's scary. So that having said, what'd you pull up next? Stefon Diggs, not guilty. He was accused by his chef. Go ahead. What you got to say about that?
Ridiculous, man. This lady, she went on that stand just telling lies after lies, and it was too obvious. She was in relationships with Stefon Diggs. She was cooking for him, and she was cooking for him. And for over a year, she was interacting while he was with Cardi B. He was with her and with another woman that worked in the house also. But when she found out that he wasn't gonna take her to some event in New York or whatever, she started causing mess, talking to the other lady, expressing to him he doing this and trying to cause dissent in the house. So he went to her and said, you know what? I'm gonna have to let you go. And so he gave her last paycheck, and she talked about she was due more, she needed more money, or she was owed this, and went through the whole thing. He talked about he tried to choke me. So she sat there and went on the stand, talking about he slapped her, he choked her, and all this. And then a day or two later, she got him a birthday card, and her friend recorded her in New York City dancing and celebrating. She was like, ain't nothing wrong with her. She don't have no pictures of no bruises. It was all a play to get money because she felt like she was leaving and she didn't get nothing.
Yeah, well, sometimes it plays like that. At the end of the day, it was he say, she say. You know, you don't have any evidence. You don't have anything that can really back up what you're saying. It's hard to get 12 people to agree on anything. And especially when it comes to convicting somebody under those circumstances, and they're a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that usually doesn't bode well. So, you know, at the end of the day, justice probably played out.
And I'm glad he was found not guilty.
What you got to say about this Afro agnostics?
Oh, I don't really have much to add. I just, you know, just the other part about women, you know, violence being acted upon a woman, and then a woman, you know, befriending the person the next day, or, you know, there's a abuse cycle. So not to discount that actually happens, but yeah, I don't think her story adds up. And she was found perjury, right? She lied on the stand, correct? Something like that.
I don't know if she was convicted.
I don't know if it was perjury. Yeah, I don't know if it was perjury, but yeah, I know
perjury.
The bottom line is but I mean, again, so the bottom line is it was a weak case, and that's the thing about it. You know, you got to have a strong case if you're going to go forward, or else it's going to be a circus. It's only going to be you know, you're only going to get dragged by the manosphere and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it seems like he was the victim in this situation, and you know, you know.
It says, message, find a worthwhile woman. I think he's talking about
chef.
Like
your chef.
Like Megan Thee Stallion. I think he's talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Find a worthwhile woman.
Yeah, Meg was a worthwhile woman. And you know, that light-skinned dude, you know, he just was doing light-skinned things. But you got something to say about this El Poo before we move on?
Yeah, I think it's a good day for America that this man he was found not guilty, or whatever the case was. You know, he was innocent in the whole thing, and good riddance to her. Bye-bye.
Ouch. Speaking of good riddance, Kid Cudi, good riddance at MIA. You know, she kept going out there on the stage and using it as a political platform. You know, people out there to dance and vibe and whatever. And the bottom line is she was violating, and you know, he was getting pushback from it. So at the end of the day, it's not just about silencing someone who's got conservative views, but someone who was just basically being just contrary to the whole vibe of the tour. So
what happened to freedom of speech?
Yeah, you got freedom of speech at home, not on my stage, not messing up the crowd. Look, the whole purpose of everybody before the headliner, you know what I'm saying, is getting the crowd worked up for the headliner. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is you try to look for someone. You're not trying to get KRS-One to open up for you because you're not trying to get him super worked up, and now they kind of come down on you. It's a gradual workup. But dang, she was a Debbie Downer. You know what I'm saying? She was just killing the whole vibe, and at some point, you know, they just, you know, had to push her on.
Who's going to a Kid Cudi concert anyway?
Hey man, day and night is a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only song I know.
That's the only song I know.
Well, I fell out of her. I was wondering. It kind of makes sense because years ago she said something disparaging about Black people, and I just couldn't believe it because you're actually doing Black music. And I, you know, when she came out, I know she was Sri Lankan, and I rocked with her because I rocked with the Tamil Tigers in their fight against, you know, the liberation struggle. But then she started saying some shit. I don't know what's going on with her. Maybe she's going through a yay phase or something.
A yay phase.
Yay.
El Poo, what you got to say? I know you're the producer. You know, you ain't tolerate none of that crap.
I don't have anything to say about this. I don't have any information on it. I don't know who MIA is. Hey, I'm MIA. I don't know.
She had that song, Paper Planes.
If we lucky, he'll replace her with Cassie.
Ouch. So, hey, Cuddy is a victim. I mean, you bringing up that stuff. The bottom line is, homeboy went there like a super villain. You know what I'm saying, with homegirl. So yeah, so he needs a win. So that having been said,
that was hard. That was that Puppy Johnson.
So yeah, so these, and then let's talk about this Met Gala protest. So what were you saying that these people called the people that were protesting?
Everyone hates Elon. It's the name of the organization that put that protest on.
Now they have the issue with it's Bezos. It's Bezos saying, I know that this is basically a sort of like a celebrity event for them to all sort of like show out dress wise and just do kind of crazy stuff. I seen Katy Perry got the damn fencing mask on, and just all of this stuff going on. But Sister Taji, I'm messing up her name. Taraji. Yeah, Taraji. Yeah. And also it was another sister I forgot that was speaking up on it.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Actress Jennifer.
Is it Hudson?
Jennifer Garner? Jennifer Love Hewitt?
The elder, she played Tupac's mom in Poetic Justice.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got looking at the picture of him, right. And the bottom line is they were like, yo, man, we can't be dealing with these people. So I mean, again, at the end of the day, stand up for what you're talking about. But she goes, I'm just reading the list, right? She said, Henson, I'm so confused by some people that are going. I'm just like, what the F are we doing? So I guess, Bezos has been participating with a lot of Trump stuff, or at least going with it. I mean, I always thought he was more on the liberal side. But,
he on Google Map, he changed it to the Gulf of America for Trump. He literally changed it to the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
So when you go in there, and if y'all don't know, the Met Gala is a fundraiser to raise money for the arts, I believe, in Hollywood or New York. So the place is $100,000 to entry fee. So everybody that was in there either paid or somebody sponsored them to $100,000 to raise money for the arts. And I know I saw Jay-Z and Beyonce with their daughter there. And I seen other people that go there every year with those weird-ass outfits, or artistic, I guess you would call it, outfits, to go and show their stuff.
Hey, man, can't knock the hustle. Go ahead, El Pooh. What you about to say?
Oh, I don't understand the thing. I saw Kanye in there, looked like he was dressed with one of his little shoes and everything. I don't know. The Met Gala is the weirdest thing I ever seen. I don't understand that right there. I don't know where it came from. It seems stupid to me. That's all I got to say, because people just dress up like it's Halloween a lot of times. So, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, man, if you're raising a whole bunch of money for the arts, and if that hustle works, I mean, at the end of the day, do you. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to go to the commercials right now or try to fit in for a little.
Man, we can't let that.
Bar and Lounge. It's a Black-owned bar in Sacramento, California, 7123 Franklin Boulevard. Go check them out. Go watch the playoffs game there. They got good food. I had me some wings and fries last night, and it was a nice little party. Went through. I played some dominoes. You can play dominoes there. They got people playing dominoes. They got a pool table. It's a good, cool environment. Black-owned. Go check them out.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And if you want it in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Salute, Sister Nidra.
I know y'all saw the number. Y'all saw the number. Call it. You need something delivered across this country. Call it. Call the number.
Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. From early South static, Shiraz and CBD. Nola Batapine. Turn.
Yeah. I know we've been going for too long, but guess what? The Spin That Back show is going to be back today. And we're going to be talking about Kid and Play today. Yes, sir.
Oh. To all of our new viewers on Rumble, tune in to the Focus Up show every Saturday at 9 a.m. We will be here every Saturday at 9 a.m. You got some comments. I got to learn how to bring the comments over. I don't know about the comments just yet, but I'm going to look for the comments. We answer the comments. I think Nice Guy, he answered the comments because I don't read the comments, but the comments will be up there. Okay, so
bring it on.
Tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m.
I want all the smoke. Shout out to JC, OG original Focus Up founding father. Top of the morning to you, brother. So, all right, let's get back to it.
Like to cut back
go ahead.
in.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Afro Nazi. Yeah, speak up for yourself, brother. What you got?
Try to DJ me, edit me out, man. Nah, man, but I just remember, man, reading about the Gilded Age back in the late 19th century, early 20th century. Biggest wealth disparity. Motherfuckers is poor. And then you had this new super rich class, the Vanderbilts, having these lush, lavish parties. This is what this is, but it's shrouded under philanthropy, just so that you can, so they can. You have these big wealthy attendees, and this is like performative activism and shit. So anyway, it's terrible, and those are your enemies there. But those people got people looking at immigrants and LGBTQ. These is your fucking open enemies in here, just throwing this wealth around for this Metropolitan fucking Arts Museum. Fuck that shit. This motherfucker's starving and hurting because of racism and all this imperialism and all this shit going on. But anyway, that's my thought.
I heard Trump make the argument. He said that's why he needs the ballroom so he could hold the Met Gala in the White House.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about someone who now see, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. You know what I'm saying? Mike Vrabel was my coach for quite a minute. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing good things for us for a stretch. It was kind of a bad divorce, and I've kind of shooed away from discussing this because I want to bring Tennessee Titan business to the Focus Up show. But now this story is just getting way bigger than that. I mean, Dianna Russini, this sister was probably one of the biggest, like, up and coming female stars in media. I mean, she broke all of the Tennessee Titan news. She was the Adrian Wojnarowski of AFC South information. She had to connect. She was getting all of this stuff. I mean, basically, I was following her Twitter because she was the first, one of the reasons that we're finding out why she was getting a lot of inside information because some inside things were going on with Mr. Vrabel. I mean, at one point, she put out a story there where it's like, oh, yeah, this team is offering such and such for Julio Jones. And this team, she's just inflating it. And the Titans, basically, everybody else got scared away. And the Titans swooped in and, end up getting for like a second-round pick or something, like something lesser. But the bottom line is, there was a lot of ethics things going on. I was originally upset with the story because I felt like this is jacked up. They messed up. They did what they did. And it's really more of an issue with their families than the public. But his career is still ongoing, whereas her career has been completely disrailed. And I mean, to me, I take great issue with that. When you see the sister catching all that and the dude not. But I will say this, the coaches, your job is to coach your team. But with news, your credibility is part of your resume. And this is part of the reason why, it's maybe semi-justified. What you got to say about this Afro-agnostic? Because I know we talked about this a little bit in passing, just about how he's getting all the punishment, or he's not getting any punishment. She's getting it all.
Okay, I can. I want to bounce off what other people have to say if I could.
Go ahead. What you? I'll say. Go ahead, Mr. Floyd X. Oh, you said you want to bounce off of it.
Oh, well, for me, I mean, when I was looking at the story, they say that they was out vacationing and on a boat trip, and she was pregnant at the time. I believe that's a real picture right there. And she named her baby, which is supposed to be her husband's baby, Mike. And I mean, I don't know if it was named after him. It's not confirmed if he was named after him, but it's kind of scandalous to be out and about like that, prancing around, and hopefully the families figure it out and they get past it. But that's a bad look.
You need to go on Maury. There's something you need to find out. There's something you need to find out. I'm just saying, there's something you need to find out. You got something to say about this, El Poo?
It sounds to me like she was a thought that got caught.
Oh man, is that enough for you to bounce off of something, or you ain't no comment from you?
Because I didn't really. I mean, you are really the first time really breaking down the story to me, but it just sounds like your typical romantic story. Usually, there's a leverage of power on the gender, and they just got caught. And as far as the media, she gets most of the shots because that's just an example of sexism. But they both were equally, yoked or involved in the scandalousness of the situation. So,
yeah, and that's really the real issue, because at the end of the day, he goes, yeah, I had some tough discussions with my family, and the Patriots are just completely backing them. And a lot of the jokes are, of course, the Patriots are supporting the cheater, but at the end of the day, it's just but again, if your team buys into your message, if you're still able to do your job, I understand why you are able to keep your job. You know what I'm saying? And the question is she still able to do her job? Because her credibility is a little bit more crucial. His football credibility is untouched. Her credibility in the realm with which she works has been assaulted. So, it's
still violated, like you said, some ethical things, right? As a journalist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why, even though my gut reaction was like, that's kind of BS that the man is getting this free pass and the female's taking his heat. But in this situation, you're taking heat because this is what your credibility. This is your whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Whereas his thing is football. This is just like some side stuff for him. But at the end of the day, I hope I feel sorry for the dude. I feel sorry for the man. It's one thing to do what you do as a grown-up. Grown-ups do grown-up things, but don't embarrass your spouse. That's really the worst thing I feel in all this stuff. Don't embarrass your people. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, she's a terrible reporter. She's despicable. She's low IQ. All that.
Yeah, that's the Trump playbook. But speaking of low IQ, no, I'm just kidding. But still, anyways, this dude, I have a lot of respect for Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? I just honestly, the fact that he's a sort of like a grown man still doing his thing, and he won him a little Grammy very recently. And at the end of the day, he is politically active, but he's one of these dudes. Talk about it. I don't want to dominate.
I'm just saying there's a lot. Okay, because we're going to talk about nature aboard the coat, but one of the telltale signs about someone's supposed political activism is you really know more about them and their name than the organization that they're a part. You know what I'm saying? They're not a part of anything. So it's like they're really out there just kind of solo grifting and kind of doing his thing. I know that he was making money off tours, but he started being paid by the Bernie Sanders campaign back in 2016 or something like that. And then he used that to get the Netflix deal. And he just kind of grifts from side to side. I know that when he went at Kamala, I feel like somebody on the other side, on the MAGA side, on the Republican side, was tipping his pockets. Because that was strategic timing to go at Kamala like that. And then now turn back around and complain about the VRA Act being gutted, when it's your vote or the misdirection that people help bring that about. But anyway,
Yeah, Project 2026 or whatever it was called. I mean, it laid a game plan. There was a lot of people talking about, oh, this was just a bunch of bluster. This wasn't where. There's a website. Go out there and Google, and they'll just show you how much a percentage of stuff is actually being achieved. So you see the game plan laid out. You've seen the progress, towards completing it. And the reality is the game plan is playing out. You know what I'm saying? You were forewarned, and some people brushed it off. They weren't dealing with the issues. You know what I'm saying? All they were talking about the fact is that she wasn't really black, or they're saying, you got Democrats just come out here and just complain about, make it about Trump. It's like that's a really messed up, a perspective of what's being talked about. What's going on is that a lot of Democrats, and again, I'm not speaking for Democrats, I'm speaking as an objective observer. What they're saying is like, look, Republicans and Democrats had a history of working with together after a fashion. It wasn't until very recently that it's been just super, super polar. But the bottom line is a lot of the Democrats are saying like, look, we know that some of y'all aren't as crazy as him. So they're basically just saying that, look, he's the one that's doing all the crazy. We're not saying that all your ideas are bad. Some of your ideas are good. You know what I'm saying? But this guy is crazy. It's not about just saying all their policies are against Trump. The things that he's doing are actually crazy and against a lot of people's interests, particularly black people. So I'm just saying, you look at the jobs that have been lost. I mean, honestly, you just look like employment in general, but particularly as it relates to black people, you know what I'm saying, under the guise of DEI. But, the bottom line is it's not meritocracy. It's nepotism. You know what I'm saying? All he did is switch this one thing. This whole VRA thing, he switched it. Instead of it being about racial, now it's just going to be about partisan. So guess what?
Killer Mike wanted to speak, right? He went out there, he was running for Sanders, and he was down with his team. Him attacking Kamala was him attacking Kamala, and she lost, or they lost, and Bernie Sanders lost, and Trump won. So Trump made it in, and now he's back, and he's talking to Voters' Rights Act. So the way this story got traction was on Substack, which is like a drop site, a news channel or something like that. They wrote about it, and they told Killer Mike to shut the fuck up. Nobody want to hear you now because you did this. And, I haven't heard his response as of yet. Have y'all heard his response to this?
He has the response. I haven't played it yet, but he definitely has a response.
He has a response.
There's a response video out there.
Okay.
But that's the point. It's a good point to make. A lot of people have been making these Killer Mike shut the fuck up videos sort of like retorts. So it's basically become a viral thing.
Yeah. And so that's just the Killer Mike STFU. And I want to hear what he got to say because, he does be out there a lot. They do prop him up as a voice of the black people, in my opinion, when he be on Bill Maher and things of that nature. So
grifter.
Yeah, you're not a part of the organization. You're not really doing shit. Think about everybody that we respect as black leaders: Malcolm X, NOI, later on the Organization of African American Unity, Martin Luther King, SCLC, SNCC. I mean, they're attached to something. He's not attached to anything.
Yeah.
But I still like his new album, his latest album. That was dope, hands down. Yep. He did that shit. Yeah.
Shut up and dribble. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You got something about this, no?
Hey, Killer Mike, stick to doing music, bro, because I'm putting you in the same category I put Dr. Umar in, the trash category.
Ouch.
Exactly.
That school is coming together, man. Bump what y'all got to say. So it's just hey, we on Rumble, right? Let's talk about somebody from MAGA. Let's talk about this Craig Long, this dude, Afro Agnostics. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about this cat.
Well, he's a MAGA person. He was recently arrested. Huh?
Black MAGA. Black MAGA.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Black MAGA. You got to get the proper.
It's important.
Yeah. But so he was busted in a human trafficking ring in Florida. 266 people were involved. He was accused of soliciting prostitution from an undercover officer, and so forth. So I mean, very interesting though. Trump, this association is Epstein, this Galeen, the MAGA pastor that recently arrested for the same Andrew Tate. It's just, this is interesting, man. I mean, like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't forget the black.
He like the sex workers also. Mr. Craig Long like the sex workers also.
gotta do it legally. You gotta do it legally, man. Yeah, gotta have infrastructure to this, man. You just can't be out here, you know.
Okay.
It has to be under social control, like they do in like the the Netherlands.
Vegas.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas, there is a legal place in this country for prostitution. It's in a very specific location, and it's not all of Vegas.
The whole state of Nevada, right?
I don't think so. You
Guess
can't do it on the strip. It's just on the ranch.
Not the whole state,
Yeah,
but then those sex workers, they have more rights. They got more benefits, more protection, and all of that. So it's a win-win.
Okay. I know it's also legal in Reno. They had those ranches out there too.
Yeah, I think that's the ones that is. It's basically this allotted property. So I think there might be 2 ranches or something like that. But that's like, as far as I know, that's the only place
Lakers was out there, right? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Lamar Odom. Yeah, no, Lamar Odom. He basically passed out. Yeah, exactly. So
that's where he died and was born again, right? That's what they say.
Craig Long, tell Puffy what's up when you get in there.
Exactly, that's what's up.
All right, now, can somebody explain this? He said, black people are not MAGA. They are Trump supporters. There is a difference. Is that a true statement?
Identify with it. So if you identify with something, I'm going to use your term of identification. So that's when we talk about Black MAGA, we want to distinguish that the black people that somehow want to identify with this particular movement, not the notion of making America great, even though it's really the issue is making America great again. Because of a lot of us would basically take the position like we want America to be great, but it's never been great in the way that we want it to be. We want it to be greater.
I never hear nobody probably answer that. When was America great?
Hey, Rumble. Yeah, let us know. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody answer
Put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
What
Yeah, when black people minded their place, that's when it was great.
America was great.
Distinction though they made though. I think on the black side there are more. I wouldn't say black MAGA does exist, like you said. They identify as such, but I think that number is way smaller than the black Trump supporters. So I like that distinction you made.
So I got the answer to that though. America was great between the years of 1411 and beyond and before.
Oh, boy, that was hard.
That's hard.
That was fire. Wow, that was fire.
Yeah.
So we got this crazy stuff going over there in Iran. You know what I'm saying? It's still supposed to be kind of under the ceasefire, even though there have been some shots fired. You know what I'm saying? But they're saying that it's still not active. It's still in a state of basically trying to negotiate. And one of the things that we saw that that Iran was doing, other than not just with all the drones and all the military tactics around the Strait of Hormuz, but them mugs been sending over battle raps and stuff like that. There's you look it up, Google Iran battle raps. You know what I'm saying? They're basically sending diss tracks to the United States of America, particularly Trump. And that's kind of crazy where the culture is taking it. And some people were saying that they're kind of what they call it when you kind of taking somebody's culture.
Oh no, that's not appropriation. That's not.
Yeah. Some people are saying appropriation, but yeah, exactly. So what you got to say about that, Afro-agnostics?
No, I think there's a difference between appropriation and exchange. They're doing it kind of like an exchange, and I can't think readily what comes to mind. But there's a cultural exchange or borrowing or usage that's different from taking someone else's and exploiting, blah blah blah. But I like what they're doing. I mean, it's propaganda, and they're using a black art form to express their propaganda. So it kind of shows you the popularity, and also they might be trying to appeal to, because we know that we know Malcolm is on. If it's not on the national currency, he's on the stampage or some official government, thing that they use over there. So they have a great deal of respect for Malcolm X and the movement he represented. But just man, I don't know what's going on. You got the Gaza, you still got Ukraine, Russia, and this situation. So the goal was to weaken Iran. Weaken China. So they are succeeding in that goal in that sense.
What you got to say about this, Mr. Floyd X?
I
know you saw your video.
I ran out the room for a second. I'm not sure what we talking about.
No, I'm talking about. He was asking about. Well, first of all, we're talking about the battle raps because you're the one that actually brought it up. But we're actually talking about the just the war in Iran in general. And I was saying that you had that video from Professor Zhang that you were very appreciative.
Okay. As far as what the Iran is doing, I can appreciate that they're leveling the playing field as far as them speaking against. Because one thing, when America under Barack Obama attacked Libya, my main issue with Libya was that he couldn't communicate to the American people, because you got to look past the government and get to the people. In a sense, the justification, like right now, what Iran is doing, they are communicating to the people with those Lego cartoons and the battle stuff. They are communicating to the people. And I think that's a good thing in a sense. If the truth is just the truth, you can say, oh, they're a dictator, they're killing their people. But when you look at videos of people inside Iran, it's just like when you come to America. It's people here who hate Trump. We hate him. But we're here and we're walking amongst the people in America. So I can appreciate that they putting these videos out, and it shows culture. It shows an appreciation of Black culture with the rapping, the music, the battle rapping. It's an appreciation of Black culture. Like you said, I never knew that they had pay money or things like that. It's the same with Russia. Did you know they got a University of Patrice Lumumba in Russia?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to people don't know that. Say that again.
Shout out to Harry Haywood, Black Bolsheviks. Get that book, and also my man George Padmore. So there's been a big connection between Black political movements and at least Russia under USSR. So yeah.
I mean, we know that the Khomeini was basically, he made provisions for Black people. He definitely has sympathy for Black people. So I mean, it's just, we understand that, and it's not just basically about causing division here. It's really about supporting people who are clearly unoppressed people, under the regime that's giving them problems too. It's commonality.
And this is why I have a problem with the patriotism, because that patriotism is divisive for Black people when we build connections with other brown and Black people across the globe who are suffering from the same shit we suffer from.
Yeah, so that's why I never buy it. So shout out to Brother Walk and his flag, but I can't do it. But
that was a shot at Walk. Yeah, it was.
You got something to say in closing, El Poo, about that particular topic?
These are some of the best AI videos I've been seeing in a long time.
And they come out quick too. They be on it. Something in the news.
Whenever Trump makes a comment about Iran,
wow.
I wait for these videos.
Hey, you know what? They learned it from China. Because China was, they weren't raps, but they were like just killing them in the factories and stuff like that. So yeah,
So you think, at least on the cultural plane, Iran is winning on that in terms of propaganda? You feel, or no?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
I mean, honestly, they're kind of winning in every single way, other than the fact that that they're the economic fallout from an act of war on their soil. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think they have the sympathy of the globe for the most part.
How can you say they winning if Trump hold all the cards? Uno cards.
Yeah, he playing Go Fish, man. It's poker, so you know what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Trump, but
Trump said this: they have 24 hours to surrender, otherwise they have 2 more weeks.
Exactly.
That's right there.
Hey, honestly, I'm happy. I'd rather he be Taco than the Bombardier. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, so we've been pushing this one topic back for a while, and Afro Agnostics has been on me. So we gonna get to it today. You know what I'm saying? We've been pushing it off like Jimmy Kimmel talking about homeboy is the born supremacy dude. But still. But anyways, let's talk about this Dave Chappelle thing. I want you to set the table if you can remember what it's about, Mr. Afro. I can do that for you if you want.
Okay. But I can remember, I know I know in somewhere in hometown, Youngstown or whatever that town that he breaks basically almost brought out in one of those buildings that he is the proprietor of NPR did an interview of him, and and in that interview he talked about how he felt his jokes were being used, his LGBT jokes were being used politically. And I'm like, ooh, literally, like seriously, like the Black trans groups and the acknowledged that they felt that it was anti-trans, and the people that are against trans, the anti-trans people, felt that it was anti-trans. And you're surprised these people don't agree, but they agree on your jokes. So obviously your jokes did relay that message, that anti-LGBTQ message, LGBTQIE message that they could expropriate and use to advance the right-wing agenda. So this whole thing, I didn't know it could be used like that. Oh, man, get out of here.
Okay, and here goes my pushback. Okay, because again, your intent and how you mean something is different. It's just like, for example, when he was talking about when he was doing the Chappelle show, and he was making like sort of like derogatory black jokes, and the black dude was laughing at it like one thing, but when the white dude was laughing, it was a different situation because it was no longer laughing with him; it was laughing at him. So again, it's one thing that when it's a hostile attack in the energy, as opposed to him basically just sort of like using objective humor. Now I get it. You know what I'm saying? When the gun is not pointed at you, it's a different situation. I can't really tell trans people how to react to humor that's about trans. You know what I'm saying? So if they're offended by it, I get it. But there is something to be said about the energy with which you send something, the way you mean something, you know what I'm saying? Because when I hear what he's saying, I never hear hostility. I hear someone who basically distinguishes why this is different from that. When you see his analogy, when he talked about Jim Carrey, he's like, I finally get to meet Jim Carrey, you know what I'm saying? So I'm on the set of that Man on the Moon movie, and everybody's like, no, you can't call him Jim Carrey. You got to call him homeboy from Taxi, Kaufman, and Andy Kaufman. And he's like, wait a second, I'm here to see, Jim Carrey. Now I got to call him Andy Kaufman. He's like, this is the same type of situation, basically juxtaposed to the the trans situation. So again, I do think he was sort of like tongue in cheek just because he was getting pushed back. But at the end of the day, he goes, look, I'm going to just stop making these jokes because obviously they're not landing the way that I want them to with that community. So I see sympathy on his part, and I definitely think, or should I say, I see empathy on his part. And I think that's to be distinguished with the type of stuff that Homegirl does. The girl that was making, the lady that was making that joke, the one that was killing dogs and basically fired from ICE. Christy Nome, I think that's what her name was. Okay. So, El Poo, what you got? You got anything to say about that?
Man, all I got to say is I don't care anything about what Dave Chappelle is going through, what the trans community is going through, about the aliens. I just want to see those Epstein files.
If I can just push back a little because because he's responding to this post that this MAGA lady posted when he visited DC back in 2003. She posted it in 2003, and he never said anything publicly about it until the NPR interview, I believe. So he even in one of his jokes he referenced the turf lady over there, RK. What is her name? RD Rowling. She's a turf. She's against the trans. This whole real women versus trans women and stuff like that. So I think he was championing that cause and he was riding that MAGA wave. And that's he thought.
Whoa. I don't think that you said riding the MAGA wave. Wait. You can have a difference of opinion on what you consider to be a real woman and not be MAGA. I don't think that you can conflate those to being the two things. I mean, put it this way: me as a male, as a heterosexual male, you know what I'm saying? I'll use whatever pronouns anybody wants to use. I will call you a lady, and after a fashion, I'll perceive you to be. I will not treat you exactly the same. I would not even consider dating someone that was trans, that was biologically a man at birth that transitioned over to a female. I'm just saying that, again, that one has nothing to do with MAGA. That's basically a violation of a fundamental that's basically fundamental to my perception of things. So I'm just saying, I don't think that you can make that a MAGA connection just because you have an issue about what's biologically a quote unquote a real woman or not. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think he's a transphobe, but I think he has certain views that are, can be exploited by transphobia type of culture and MAGA culture. And I think he was kind of using that wave to kind of, put his views out there and things that he felt, strongly about. And I think him just saying, man, maybe I'm mistaken. I was being used. I was being exploited. Or I didn't want it to be used like that. He's kind of acting like he was surprised. And he
no.
Don't think so?
I don't think he was acting surprised. What he was saying, he goes, look, no, you guys are not. I'm not doing what you're doing. When she made that joke, he's like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing.
She made that in 2023. Like, why you just not responding?
Well, I mean, put it this way, I don't know when a person's responding. Just because I haven't seen it, or just just because it's not being published, or I don't know. I mean, he's a very private dude. He doesn't,
It was a public thing of him. You need to publicly respond.
He was responding, to my understanding, he was responding to the Kristi Noem situation because she made a joke, and he was like, "Wait a second, no, I don't want Republicans using my stuff to further their agenda." And like I said,
so no, it was a hardcore. I'm sorry, so the audience, no, it was a hardcore MAGA lady, politician, associated lady, or adjacent lady, who took a picture with him in the White House, and then she posted it on social media, and the caption said, "Two people who believe only in two genders." So that's what it said, which is a certain cultural perspective that I think aligns with the transphobia in the MAGA. So I think he was,
wait. It aligns with MAGA shares that belief, but you understand that Dave Chappelle is a Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just like saying a person, you can be a Christian and not be MAGA. You can be a Muslim and not be MAGA, and you still basically feel like there's two really genders, and basically what you're born is what you're, what you're physically configured at birth is what you are. So again, I think that basically there's overlap. You know how they have that circle and that little
the turf thing.
That's different. I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that again, as far as the Kristi Noem, whatever, he was basically saying like, look, I'm not one of you guys. Don't use my jokes to further your agenda. We may have some little overlap as far as a position, but I definitely don't have the vitriol and nastiness that you have about this type of thing. And literally at one point he goes, look, I'm just not going to make those jokes anymore because they're not landing. Not because he didn't think they were funny.
You made that 9 years ago. So I think it was a mistake. You don't see how your stuff can be used. And that's my only thing I would say about it, because if the anti-trans people think that you're anti-trans and the pro-trans people think that you're anti-trans, I think you're anti-trans. You know what I'm saying? Or you're being perceived.
I don't worry about how people use my things, because at the end of the day, if you have a misconfusion, that's what we're talking about. Because we're talking about they're using his jokes. They're using his
rival camps viewing you the same way. I think anyway.
At the end of the day, you can look at something how you see it, but it is what it is, and it's our burden to get to what something actually is. So that having been said, let's get this thing out of let's get to this before because we're gonna have spin that back, and spin that back is gonna be on time. But I wanted to make sure that we give you an opportunity to talk about this. So go ahead, Nature Boy. You want to talk about this? What do you know about this cat? Because I saw the first 2 episodes of that Hulu documentary, and I mean, yeah, that's that cool stuff.
No, I was just, just thinking about, just folks know that from a sociological perspective, a cult is a small, like, religious group with a strong leader who has this cult of personality. And I joined the cult too. So just signs to look out for. But this guy, like Floyd said, he started with Sonnet as far as his introduction to social media. And he went through, I guess, down the rabbit tunnel of YouTube. He has a very harsh background. I'm terrible background with his parents and so forth. But he ended up, he's from New York, residing down here, starting the cult. And very not too much unlike Dr. York, Rabboni Yeshua, Imam Isa.
Exactly.
The potential what Polite was trying to do, even the Nation of Islam. I mean, he started this camp, and I think he's been involved in rape charges, holding people, kidnapping. And I think he's facing 20 years with an additional, a life with an additional 20 years. That wasn't the best man. My bad.
No, look, I've watched him from the beginning. I've seen him and I've seen what he do. And just for the record, a cult is all a religion. If you're a part of religion, you're in a cult, in my opinion. You are a part of a cult because y'all share the same belief and y'all same culture and all that short. It's short for culture, I believe, and you're part of a cult. But when you get involved in criminal activity like rape or grape, however y'all want to say it, and things of that nature, and people start personality worship, that's when you're going down the negative path. He's done videos, live streams where a woman is there fanning them, and he said, pour me some water. And they like, for whatever reason, people subject their stuff to this kind of humiliation where they think that they're so great and they do whatever for him, think he's the man of God or the voice of God. And I believe, I haven't seen the documentary, but if it's talking about him and what he does and how he brought people to Costa Rica and that they build this community out there and buy land and they live on the land and they start making up their own rules for that community. And some of it is degrading. The children become the property of him. He can have his way with the children. You got to be mindful because it happens over and over again. People joining these cults, the Jonestown, you got the Ranch Davidians, you got all this, the Ruby Ridge incident. All these people join these cults and organizations, and their mind gets screwed. Don't join religion. Stay away from religion. That's that's
so
what I got.
Again, and a lot of these people, this is the young people, you're really susceptible, when you're sort of like going into your own, because you live with your parents and your parents sort of like paint your concept of reality. And once you started sort of like getting out from under that and trying to dig out your own concepts, that's when you're very susceptible for people like this. So when you talk about Dr. York, I know what you say. I'll say this to my dying day. That dude was a con man. He did a whole bunch of things, but he made a great bunch of powerful arguments that I hold and still believe in to this day. So again, a person can speak truth and a person can lie, a person can be jacked up, but the bottom line is there was still some diamonds in that rough. And but at the end of the day, he was a monster. He's in jail now, as far as I understand, for doing all that stuff. And I mean, when you talk about in Costa Rica, so this dude had a house, had a nice little property. He stayed in the house. You know what I'm saying? They had a bathroom in the house, but everybody had to go use the bathroom outside. You know what I'm saying? So you literally had to go bathroom outside, and you put you growing tomatoes and watermelon out of your poop outside and stuff like that. So the bottom line is this dude he was really on one. And I mean, only young people would fall for that stuff. It's super young people or super gullible people. You know what I'm saying?
In this day and time. But I think it's good for people to know that this is really throwback shit. Like this was the norm hundreds of years ago during feudal times. The king wiped my ass. There was this one traditional king, I'm not going to say where, who talked about in historical times and times of past that he took pride in saying that the kings didn't have to wipe their own asses. You know what I'm saying? You have a servant, we celebrate coming to America, but you remember that the world penis, this nigga didn't have to do shit. Who's providing that luxury for you? Some type of labor out there is being exploited, providing that luxury, so fuck them kings and queens and that type of shit. I think the one common denominator though is, and this is not on man tip, I'm anti-manosphere, but it just happens to be men, but it's just charismatic men. Yeah. They're all very charismatic, and a key root word in that word is charm. They have charm.
And these people are basically putting something out there at a time that other people just happen to be very vulnerable or very receptive to it. Because when you were hearing these people's stories, they were like, the one dude, he was like, I came out of the military, I was part of for 8 years or whatever, I was part of a community, and then now I'm just out on my own. And, now this person, he's giving me another community to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? The one female that basically just like, I just ghosted my family. I just bounced and went there and, didn't blocked all their numbers and whatever. I mean, she's a kid. I mean, she ended up getting, have her virginity taken in like a crazy way. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of crazy stuff that was going on with that dude. And at the end of the day, you got your children. Just be careful. I mean, we see how it's conspiracy theory. We see how flat Earth is basically, flat Earth is a thing now. I'm just telling you, 20 years ago, there's probably very few people talking that flat Earth nonsense. I mean, definitely in the mainstream, but I'm just saying that the power of YouTube, the power of social media, the power of podcasting, boy, you know what I'm saying? You
brought up a good point too. Another is like the age thing, but also the black exodus from the black church that's been taking place in the last 20, 30 years. So a lot of those people still want the important thing. The church, why people came, was community, family gathering and stuff. So he does provide some of those things. And that's what people don't, because I joined the cult. You know what I'm saying? So, and I wasn't like the most naive person, but
I joined one too.
Who did?
The Nation of Islam.
I want to say too, from a sociological perspective, a cult.
Get off the screen.
Is part of the definition is the size. So the Nation of Islam is no longer a cult; it's the church now. It has graduated.
It's the church now. The Nation of Islam is the church.
And the Nation of Islam has done a lot of great things for Black people. I can have criticisms about it, but I can have criticisms about anything that still has done great things for it. So at the end of the day, we'll have that. Put it this way: when we get to that Who Killed Malcolm X episode of the Focus Up show, it ain't gonna be nice. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for the nation, a lot of respect for Minister Farrakhan, and just their impact on our culture.
A lot of people shriek away from the term because it's a negative, pejorative way that has become. But it's just a small religious group, and then it graduates to a sect, and then it becomes a larger church. That's when it becomes more acceptable. Some of the more narrow norms shed away, and it becomes more mainstream. Those are the kind of some of the differences. It's not a negative thing. It's just it's more of a size thing.
And I felt that was Mr. Floyd X was saying. He said, "Look, it's only when it goes bad is when it goes bad." I was very, sort of like a person of religion, of understanding, and sort of like seeing things that I felt like a lot of people were missing. And I was like, what could really help if we really want to build as a community, we need to build a community. We need to, because I'm big into Star Trek and stuff like that. And I look at the Vulcans compared to everybody else. These are like super logical, super advanced people, just business. So I was like envisioning a whole community, like a whole sort of like self-sufficient, science, all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's just then when all this stuff was playing out with the dude with the Nikes and all this other stuff, I was like, yeah, I can't do none of that stuff. I'm going to keep it secular with everybody. I'm still the religious person I was back then, but my interaction with the rest of the world, I'm keeping it secular. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So thank you guys for participating. Rumble. We will look forward to your input. If your comments didn't make it to the show, we'll see your comments afterwards. But like I said, we're not ducking no smoke.
Yeah, I tested it out. The comments don't show up over here, so I got to figure out how to see the comments on that side.
But that having been said, like, share, subscribe, and we will talk about some things that relate to you, and we'll give you some insight to our side of the argument. So if you want to devise your defense, tap in. So appreciate you. Peace out.